Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Luis Alberto Matos from the teleSUR studios in Caracas, Venezuela. We begin with the news. Stay with us. On February 28th, one of the most spectacular festivities in the world began in Rio de Janeiro, the Brazilian Carnival. This festival is considered a symbol of the country's identity and includes a parade of professional samba schools, fireworks, colorful costumes, and this year it will contribute some $2,077 billion to the country's economy, 2.1% more than last year, according to information from the press service of the Secretariat of Social Communication of the Republic. The country's Ministry of Tourism estimates that the festivities will attract more than 53 million people in all states, an 8% increase compared to Carnival 2024. Passenger traffic during the Carnival days is expected to be around 6.64 million, exceeding last year's figures by 9%. Great news for the country and the diffusion of its culture internationally. Let's go now to Trinidad and Tobago with our collaborator Mitron Robinson to go over everything that is happening today as Carnival 2025 continues. Hello Mitron, what can you tell us?
Good afternoon. I'm here on the corner of Frederick Street. The bands are moving up from Keith Street here in Trinidad and Tobago. They're moving towards the Savannah. They would have left Independence Square. The kids have been preparing months for this. As you can see behind me, the trucks are blasting music. Very, very beautiful costume, an important element in the calendar where Trinidad and Tobago's Carnival is concerned. Hundreds of young ones are here. It's an exciting time. They could not have asked for perfect weather, an important staple in Trinidad's Carnival. And as you would know, the celebration of these little ones is very critical and important in terms of research, in terms of documentation, in terms of the benefits to the orange economy or the cultural economy, and passing on important elements of the culture of Trinidadians from one generation until the other. We've been hearing the sounds of soca artists such as Nyla Blackman, Machel Montano, an exceptional performer coming out of Trinidad and Tobago. He would have started in some of these bands as well, and then Machel would have moved on to be an exceptional representative, cultural ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago. Word on the ground is that there are 32 bands taking place. There are some first comers. We would have had conversations with some of those first comers to Kitty's Kadooment here in Trinidad. And it's just an exciting time. We're enjoying it. Our team is here in full force, and teleSUR would continue to bring exceptional coverage for our viewers in Venezuela. It certainly is a celebration of the anti-colonial ties for many. It's an important teaching material for the little ones who've coming out. As I would have mentioned, they would have been preparing for many months for this big day, this Saturday. And the crater looked down and the weather is perfect, no threats of rain or anything like that. Blue skies here from Frederick Street. Another element, the importance to the economy. A lot of entrepreneurs here that we would have had conversations with are very pleased to have been invited by the National Carnival Commission, the NCC here in Trinidad, to take place, to benefit, to have their pockets lined, to generate some income, some revenue. We have seen some visitors from other countries as well, some international tourists joining the locals here for Carnival Saturday. On Monday, we're going to expect it's Mega Monday. So as I would have mentioned quite recently, there was a serious increase in the number of flights coming to Trinidad and Tobago. Over 401 flights are expected to come. And it's a major income generator for Trinidad and Tobago. So we'll be bringing all of this exciting news to our viewers all over the world, and particularly in Venezuela. Thank you so much.
Major, a question very quick before saying goodbye in this report. How important you would describe are this carnival for the preservation of the culture of Trinidad and Tobago? You're referring there are lots of youngsters, of children going there. how important it is for them to have this. Well, we seem we lost contact with our collaborator in Trinidad and Tobago. Let's continue now with other news. We are going to Venezuela. There to Tumba, Caracas. They're also celebrating an event here in the parish of Caricuao as part of the Carnival's 2025. The event will bring national and international artists in concerts to be held in Caricuao, El Valle, and Sucre parishes. In this regard, the head of government, Nahum Fernandez, emphasized that the carnivals will include the traditional with free admission concerts in cultural spaces for the whole family. He also informed that on March 3rd and the 4th, Carnival Days, the traditional parade will take place in Los Proceres Promenade with more than 26 floats and troops registered by the cultural makers, with special guests from Russia, Turkey, and Mexico. And the operation developed by the Venezuelan National Executive for the Carnival festivities is moving forward. On Friday, almost 4,000 control points were set up to guarantee road safety. According to the information released by the Vice Minister of Prevention and Security, thousands of seasonal travelers will travel between Friday and Saturday along the highways of the country. The head of this office, Endes Palencia, informed that 3,146 control points will be operating at national level in the 18 trunk roads. Their purpose is to take care of, assist, and guarantee safe carnivals to all travelers who will take advantage of the carnival season. Only from the passenger terminal in South Caracas, 50,000 travelers will leave this Friday. And in Venezuela, the popular assemblies to discuss the projects to be carried out in the communes continue. In this method, the society decides its future with the support of the Venezuelan government. Our correspondent Leonardo Urrieta with all the details.
En Villa de Cura, Estado Aragua, unos 120...
In Villa de Cura, Aragua State, about 120 kilometers from the Venezuelan capital, is the 7 de Octubre commune, where 11 communal councils live, all of them organized to promote their projects.
Plasman en un papel sus obras.
They put on paper the works that were approved in the 3 previous popular consultations, all united with a single objective, the construction of a new state.
Para los habitantes del sector,
For the inhabitants of the sector, the strengthening of the communes and the communal councils is the way to advance towards the creation of a powerful Venezuela.
Without the popular power, we are nothing. Without the popular organization, we are nothing. And since the time of President Chavez, we have had an organization. It was President Chavez who enlightened the mind of the Venezuelan people.
este tipo de organización popular.
This type of grassroots organization is one of the clearest examples of how the people empower themselves with their projects and execute them efficiently.
The projects that have been done are to satisfy the commune, the 11 communal councils. The first one was for water, because we have a pumping system for 7 communities, all of them with a large number of inhabitants. So what did we do? We executed it satisfactorily, but it was executed in 4 communities. In the second one, we also met in assemblies with the whole commune in general. We struggled with whether to approve the ambulatory or to combine it with the water, and we went for the ambulatory because it is really necessary.
En esta localidad viven más de 8,000
More than 8,000 inhabitants live in this locality, divided into some 4,000 families, all with one slogan, to work to achieve the greatest possible happiness for the population.
There we were able to scaffold all the situations or problems that may arise in our sector, and from there to each sector belonging to the community councils. We carried out this work, and from there we made a general zone.
Se ve la comunión en las calles de Venezuela.
The communion is seen in the streets of Venezuela. The work of the 5338 communes with the Venezuelan state. Its ministers go house to house carrying the direct message of President Nicolas Maduro to continue advancing in the construction of a new economic model, which further strengthens the sovereignty of Venezuela, hand in hand with the communities, commune or nothing.
Venezuela grows because it is free and sovereign, not because it is a slave of anyone. As long as we are free and sovereign, we will have the possibility to grow economically with or without sanctions, which makes us free and sovereign.
Lo que nos hace es ser libres y soberanos.
La semilla está allí.
The seed is there. The people are directing their own projects and executing them. The next goal for the Comunidad 7 de Octubre of the Zamora municipality in Aragua state is the repair of this school, which will be the project that will be chosen by its inhabitants in the 4th popular consultation on April 27th.
En la Cámara de Carlos Quintero, Leonardo Urrieta, TeleSUR, Aragua, Venezuela.
We now have a first short break coming up. Remember, you can join us on TikTok at teleSUR English, where you'll find news in different formats, news updates, and much more. Welcome back. The recent cuts to USAID funding are having a profound impact on Haiti, exacerbating the country's severe humanitarian crisis. Haiti, the poorest nation in the Western Hemisphere, is grappling with a surge in hunger, armed violence, malnutrition, and diseases like cholera. However, the USAID cuts have forced organizations to slash vital programs and staff, affecting at least 550,000 people who were receiving aid. For instance, Action Against Hunger had to cut a nutrition and feeding program that served 13,000 people in rural regions, leading to the loss of 27 staff positions. The Integrated Food Security Phase Classification reported that nearly 6,000 Haitians are starving, with half the population facing critical levels of hunger.
We were working on prevention of malnutrition and also working on food security. It was a full cycle of life in terms of market. So it was from the producers, the private side of the market, and then we had like also the families that we were coaching and educating. So that project was funded by USAID. We received the stop work order on the 31st of January, I think. Asking us to suspend activities, and on the following days we had to we received a communication from the consortium lead asking all the partners to shut down activities totally and cut salaries from the 15th of February. Half of the population right now is considered as being in a humanitarian crisis. We have 5.4 million people that are in a situation of hunger crisis. It means that they are eating either less than one meal a day. We have also 6,000 people, mainly IDPs here in Port-au-Prince, that are on the edge of famine. So the situation of hunger is very critical for Haiti. It's one of the biggest in the world.
The World Health Organization is intensively investigating a surge of illness in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Ecuador province, where over 1,000 cases of at least 60 deaths have been reported. While malaria has been identified in many cases, WHO has not ruled out other causes, including toxic contamination or meningitis. Dr. Michael Ryan, WHO's emergency chief, highlighted the possibility of a poisoning event linked to contaminated water sources in one village, where a cluster of death among young men was observed. The outbreak spans multiple villages, and initial tests have ruled out Ebola and Marburg viruses, with further investigations on their way into potential environmental or food-related causes. WHO teams are conducting disease surveillance and collecting samples to determine the root cause.
No, that is something that we've had under intense investigation, and when you look at the it's not the same issue that occurred previously in southern DR Congo, but there certainly has been a significant event early on in this situation, in which we had a large clustering of deaths that were mainly focused in young men in a particular village. This is a significant set of deaths and disease caused by multiple agents in a vulnerable population. Clearly, at the centre of this, it would appear that we have some kind of poisoning event. We will not stop investigating until we're assured that the risk of that, or that the true cause and the absolute cause of what's occurring here is fully investigated.
We have now a second short break coming up before we invite you to visit our YouTube channel at teleSUR English. There you'll be able to rewatch our special interviews, top stories, special broadcastings, and more. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell to stay up to date on the world's most recent events. Final short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Palestine has requested a legal opinion regarding Israel's systematic obstruction of the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees. The request emphasizes Israel's obligation to allow UN agencies to provide essential services and humanitarian aid to the Palestinian people. This move comes after Israel's parliament prohibited UNRWA from operating in occupied territories and established regulations preventing government cooperation with the agency. As a result, over 50 foreign workers were unable to renew their visas in January, and operations in Gaza and the West Bank have been severely disrupted. The situation has escalated tensions, with Palestine seeking international legal intervention to address Israel's obstruction of UNRWA's critical humanitarian work. And millions of Muslims around the world celebrate the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan. This Saturday begins the holy month of Ramadan, and a holiday that marks the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and is respected by Muslims around the world as a month of fasting. This month commemorates the first revelation of the Prophet Muhammad and is considered one of the 5 pillars of Islam. During this month, the faithful perform as an obligatory practice fasting from the beginning of the day until the end of the day, when they feast. And Cuba and Russia are deepening their commercial relations in strategic areas by promoting a joint biopharmaceutical venture. Executive from BioCuba Pharma met with representatives from Russian companies specializing in the production and marketing of medicines and medical supplies to consolidate biopharmaceutical collaboration between the two countries. This alliance promises to unlock new solutions, harness the potential of the pharmaceutical industry in Cuba, and offer a chance to overcome historical challenges related to resources and infrastructure. Innovative projects such as the VA Mungo BC vaccine against meningitis and the Simavax, the treatment therapeutic vaccine against lung cancer, may be included, representing significant advances in Cuban medicine. Like this, we have come to the end of this news brief. You can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. Also join us on our social medias on Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. For TeleSUR English, I'm Luis Alberto Matos. Thank you for watching.